Hello, everyone. I am Sonia Nadina Haynes, and I am joined by my sidekick, and I'm his sidekick, Aeson Knight. And we are talking today about dating and the new chase, which is really interesting because I don't know anything about the chase. Actually, well, I kind of do, but I'm being coy. Aeson, how's about you?
Oh, honey, I'm an old. I don't mind the new chase. I like the new chase a lot better. It's a lot easier, a lot more functional. It gets you past step A and B and figuring out who's C, and you don't have to pay a matchmaker. So I'm all happy with the new chase. What we're talking about here is, dating has changed probably within the last 10 years, totally.
Mhm.
Totally and completely. Used to be, let's go back to the 40s and 50s. The guy would ask the girl out.
Mm-hmm.
He would plan the date. He
Mm-hmm.
would come by and meet the parents if they were in
Mm-hmm.
that age. And then he would, take her on the date and go back, hope for a good night kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And, then you would move on to the next. A friend of mine used to call it, you have to eat, so you might as well take every opportunity to check out the menu. Um, and she was a serial dater. Literally, she would go for the dinners because guys
Yeah.
always took them to the best restaurants. But it isn't done that way anymore. You first of all, that's trouble. He's taking airlift out of here before he claws my leg again. Um, First of all, now we have dating sites, dating apps, and you can look for your vein of what you like because the menu is no longer, well, I got to find a guy. Now I got to find a tall guy that's same
Mm-hmm.
religion, and oh, I
Mm-hmm.
like them if they're a lawyer or a doctor, or I want an older guy, or I want a younger guy. You can almost order up what you're looking for, and then these apps go and figure it out, what they want, what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's changed the dynamics. What
Mm-hmm.
do you think, Miss Sonia? How's the energy effect on that?
Well, I've been out of I was saying to you earlier that if I counted, I was married twice, one long relationship. So I might have dated, including the marriages, maybe about 7 times in my
Mm-hmm.
whole life. And I'm 57. So that's I spend a long period of time without a relationship just because, I'm not interested in I find the whole dating scene a bit challenging because
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately I think it's because I'm intuitive, so I can tell when this person is
Mm-hmm.
spreading a bit of manure around. And if that's the case, I don't have the time. I mean, I'm still of the old school, and however, if I meet someone I like, I have no problem going up and say, "Well, hello there," But
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. I don't. I don't have the what's the word? I don't have the shyness that a
Uh-huh.
lot of people have, and
Right.
I taught people how to do that. I remember we were at a restaurant and this girl was interested in the waiter, but he was really serious. And he kept bringing the food, and she's like, "Oh, but he's so serious. He's not going to talk to me." I said, "Watch this." So he came, and he brought the food, and I looked at him, and I gave him a little smile, and he went away, and he came back, and before you know it, his smile was there, and the next thing you know, he and she were talking. I said, "That's how you do it. Very subtle, to the point, clear. I'm just gonna, come hither, baby cakes, that sort of thing." And
Uh-huh.
so I think a lot of people right now, personally, my personal view based on what I've observed is, I think the online dating is great for flirting, for
Mm-hmm.
doing a bit of flirting. It helps you develop a little bit of rapport with the individual. The unfortunate thing with a lot of the online stuff is that you never see the true person. I have a friend who got onto an online dating thing, The guy wrote the most beautiful letters. Every time a person starts writing you beautiful letters, I get suspicious. And I remember saying to my daughter once about something, I said, I'm not psychic, I'm just naturally suspicious, you know, because oh my goodness, they start writing all these sweet, wonderful stuff, and I'm just checking. I say, you know, check the back of the page to see what's on it. You know, did they, you know, because you never really know what you're getting unless you're intuitive enough to get to understand that, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if you can do it, it's great. I love it's almost like doing the tango, really, you
It
know,
is.
online
Well,
dating.
well, dating in general is like a dance. And I think that what has happened here is we've moved so fast into the new stuff, the new dance, that, you know, the old stuff of, oh, you know, the guy does the calling.
Mm-hmm.
The girl either accepts the date. If he calls after Wednesday, she's washing her hair Friday night and tells him so. Those rules kind of went out the window because
Yeah.
now, you know, you meet. Okay, this is the new scenario. You
Mm-hmm.
meet them online, you chat here with them for maybe 30 minutes. They go, hey, you got a Facebook? Yeah, I got a Facebook. You add them to Facebook, and then you're chatting
Mm-hmm.
continuously for a couple of days, and then you go out on a date, and it's like, okay, hold it here. Who is this?
Mm-hmm.
Your pictures don't look like your pictures. Your language don't sound like your language.
Language, yeah.
And you're much taller or much shorter or much thinner or much thicker than what you were before.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you get past that and it's actually a good, you know, they are who they are. The pictures are up to date. Everything
Mm-hmm.
fits in. We get past the first date. Well, that's nice. Now what? Do you call him? Does she call you? Do you call him and he calls you back? You know, that's where I think people get lost. They get kind of like dropped off, like, huh? Now what do I do? You know,
Yeah.
because the map ain't there anymore.
Yeah.
And, you know, people have to understand that people are still wired to that because we dated that the way the old way of dating, we dated that way for numbers of centuries. It is
Yeah.
actually probably in your DNA that you are either prey or you are hunter.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, trouble, you're not needed for this conversation.
Yes.
You know, and, you know, so when you're prey, you do really good. But if the hunter ain't hunting, you turn around and, you know, like any other animal, you're going to start hunting the hunter.
Mm-hmm. Turn around and face the hunter, right?
Exactly. And, you know,
Yeah.
you start hunting the hunter and trying to get his attention and you're chatting. And then
Yeah.
he blows up and shuts down because you're not doing what
You're
you were
supposed, yeah.
supposed to be doing. It's like, hold it, I'm supposed to be stalking you, not you stalking me.
I'm just a very full hunter. I'm full. I don't need to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know, and I think that's where we get into the communicational trouble of
that's.
the beginnings of the relationships.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And, you know, once you've been going for like 2 months, 3 months, then the honeymoon's over and it's like, huh? He's not calling every day.
Yes.
You know, and then you're calling, you know, that's when you guys start stepping up and going, why ain't he talking to me?
Mm-hmm. Is he got another girl?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's where I think we get into confusion is we forget where the hunt is. And that's because there are types, and I call them the lazy hunters.
The
Okay.
lazy hunter?
The lazy
Lazy.
hunters.
Okay, right.
Okay. Because they're, you know, you fix them breakfast one morning.
Yes.
Just because it's a Sunday morning and you're
Yes.
happy to fix breakfast.
Yes.
You expect breakfast in bed every day, the rest for 20 years.
Or there are those who, well, it's afraid it's more men who can surf on one night of passion. They can surf for weeks on that one night of passion. They won't call you because they're full. They're good. They're good. I mean, if it was really, really, really good night, they are good. And they're gone for like a week, 2 weeks. They're not talking to you, calling you. They're on their Game Boy or whatever, and your
Mhm.
woman's or the guy's driving him here or herself crazy, wondering, why isn't he calling me? What's going on? Why isn't this happening? That person is just happy. I still like the idea. I mean, it's okay to wrap yourself around someone if you're comfortable, but if you're not comfortable, I think it's okay to wait.
I think it is
Without
perfectly
beating.
okay to wait. It should not
Yeah,
be the test all.
yeah,
There needs to be that chemistry. I think that the art of flirting has been lost.
yes. Well, I could teach it, baby.
I know, honey. We both could.
Yes, yes. We should
We're
probably get
both.
a whole course together on that.
I would love to teach a course called "Fix the Relationship in 30 Days or Less,"
Oh, very
because there are
nice.
certain techniques that can fix a relationship.
Yes,
Communicating,
absolutely.
looking at someone and going, "I really hate that shirt, and if I see it on you again, I'm going to burn it." Because they're dressing like a slob. You'll be surprised at the changes that occur when
Hmm.
you start being honest with your partner, but
That's right.
honest when you're being in the beginning. You've got to
Hmm.
be honest in the beginning. You can
From the
talk a good
start.
game from the
Yeah,
start,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
and you
that's
got to be
part of,
looking at them too.
yeah, I think that's why a lot of relationships go awry. The dating time, it's kind of like the bird of paradise. He flops off his feathers and he's just so spectacular. He's like, oh, look at me, purple and orange and yellow. And she comes in and she checks him out. Well, the bird of paradise, the female does, he does all of that stuff to attract her, but she checks out the nest. Okay, well, what have you got here for me? So he not only fluffs himself up, but he has to show what he's all about. And I think a lot of people who step into relationships, they're so afraid of being seen for who they truly are that they don't represent themselves. And I think it leads to a lot of confusion. It leads to a lot of, uh, hurt feelings. It leads to a lot of negative stuff, which is
Sure.
unfortunate.
And I think nowadays we rush those steps. It
Yeah.
used to be, you get a date on Friday night, you'll
Mhm.
get another date on the next Friday night. You have to wait another week. You can do some
Mhm.
calling, you might do some courting, maybe
Mhm.
have flowers delivered. By the
Mhm.
way, anybody watching this, I prefer red roses and black roses. Um, and you may get a second or a third date, but you ain't up in each other's elbows every
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
The art of love letter writing is being turned into
Oh,
Facebook statuses. Sorry, I'd prefer my love letters.
yeah.
Um, I think that needs to be brought back, even if it's
Yes.
love in letter emails. And I don't think you should connect onto Facebook. I mean, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. If I'm dating you, you aren't added into my circle on Facebook, so you can check out all my friends and scope all that out and figure out all about me, because there needs to be some mystery left there.
That's right. Yeah. 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 It'll be, I don't know. I mean, it's been 16 years or so since I've been in a relationship or gone on a date or anything like that. So
Hmm.
it'll be interesting. I will be sitting on the wall observing myself should such a thing occur.
Uh-huh.
It'll be very interesting to see what I do. I mean, as I said, I'm very forward. So,
Right.
I don't, and you see it. What you see is what you get. That's it.
Uh-huh.
So,
Um, I'm more that way now. I
yeah,
used to not be. Oh my God, my first relationship. Oh, honey, he didn't see me without makeup on. He didn't see me without the hair done. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's just how I was. It was like, nope, 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 nope. You ain't showing
Mm.
up till 5:30. If you're at 5:29, you'll wait at my door. Uh,
Because it's not on yet. Yeah, yeah,
I ain't ready for you yet. And
yeah,
now it's just like, oh, I'm going to dinner.
yeah,
All right,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
It's funny how I learned about the trying to look a certain way. When I was in university. I was university and I was working at the same time. I was working at the um, on Wall Street there at the Department of Sanitation in New York City on Broadway. And I fell for this boy, Ralph. Oh boy, Ralph. His smile. He walked with a little tippy thing, which I thought was just the cutest thing ever. Anyway, he asked me out on a date. And of course, because all my clothes were school clothes and I didn't know what a date clothes was supposed to look like, I ended up wearing this mauve outfit, mauve pants, and a crocheted mauve top. I felt like a twerp. I felt so ridiculous, so awkward, so uncomfortable. I went out in this thing, and the whole night I was looking at I wasn't even looking at him, this man that I was crazy for. I was looking at this mauve, this mauve thing, head to toe mauve, right? I hate the color. So, and my sister was the one who loaned me the outfit. So after that, I decided, you know what? If you like me as I'm dressed, the way I am, that's fantastic. If not, forget it. And that's basically how I've gone about things.
You don't look like a mauve to me. I would have pictured you more. Yeah, I would have pictured you more in the little black dress.
Oh yeah, I had the black dress, but I didn't wear the black dress. I wore the mauve outfit because I didn't know what to wear. And I think that's a lot of people get into that. What should I put on? What should I wear? He's coming over. What kind of person is he? Should I wear this? Should I wear that? I think the very first date, you present yourself, a little bit of makeup, as simply as possible, show up at the door. I think if they liked you when you look like a frump, they like you as a dressed up frump. That's it. No, because you get your hair done, your eyes done, new eyelashes. He looks at you. Oh, are those eyelashes different? I don't remember them when I met you. So try and be as consistent as possible with your appearance. So that when the person sees you, you're closely aligned to what they originally met. And I think it's very, very nice. And I do think it's very, very nice that men are naturally wired, and I know you had the makeup and so on, but men are naturally wired to not go overboard.
They are. They're naturally wired to be focused on the event. And, men nowadays are a little bit even more wired that way.
Yeah.
Because they are used to doing that. And especially in early stages of relationships, you got to pay attention to what he's saying. Example, I'm a very busy person. I run multiple corporations. He's not going to be a hip hugging person.
That's
He's going to be like, I'm in town next Thursday. Let's have dinner at 6:30. Let's go to Stromboli's because I like that. And maybe we'll catch a movie. And you may not hear from him for 3 or 4 days. Because you've not gotten the full picture of him and how he runs things. So after that first date, that's kind of the proving ground of, okay, how are we going to communicate? And if you come on strong and suction on him like, I need your attention. I need your attention. Yeah, or the jellyfish. That man ain't going to have time for that.
Yeah.
That man is going to look at you and go, I don't need another responsibility in my life.
That's right. Yeah.
And something that's happening too is there's people that are now living with, the old, it used to, we went from this period of multi-generational homes. So when you came to pick that person up, you met the mother, the grandmother, the grandfather. You got an idea of the whole family structure within that 5 minutes of looking at a gun being polished. Nowadays, we're back to that again after we went out of that period of, after the 50s into the late 2000s. You didn't really see a lot of people living with their relatives. They had their own apartment, they had their own thing. Now the thing, more people are moving back to that multi-generational home. So they're, that old thing of, well, if he's living in his parents' basement, what's he doing there if he's so successful? It may be the culture.
He might be saving up for a ring, for heaven's sakes.
Or a house. Or,
yeah,
it may
yeah,
be his house and the parents are, because, we're
yeah.
now dating in our 40s and 30s, 40s and 50s. The
Mhm,
parents may be, living with him. So I
mhm.
would, a lot of dating books go, well, if he lives with family, mark him off your list. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's important too. One of the things that I always say in a relationship, whether if it's a woman, watch her relationship with her father. If it's a man, watch his relationship with his mother. That will actually tell you how that person can love you. And it
Hmm.
doesn't matter whether you're heterosexual or gay or whatever. Watch the man, because the father is the external expression of that man's personality as a male,
Hmm.
right? And so if the male is estranged from the father, he's gonna be estranged from himself, right?
Right.
So his
Very much so. And
yeah,
I'll agree with that. And I'll tell
yeah,
you point blank, I date my father.
yeah, you
Every
do,
one of my husbands, I can go,
yeah,
I know why we lasted so long. You remind me of my dad. And
yeah,
that
yeah,
didn't hit me till like, oh, I don't know, 6 years ago. And
yeah.
it's like, uh-oh, I'm dating my father. And it was in the middle of an argument,
Yeah.
because I fight, we were fighting and arguing. And I'm like, I ain't having this, blah, 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 blah.
And you
And
go, ooh.
no, and he comes back with, well, if you just keep this up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. My father, let me get my dad on the phone because you just spoke through him and you're not a channeler. So what's the deal?
Yes. Yeah, we do. The parent is a template upon which you base all your relationships, whether what you observe or your relationship with that parent.
Mm-hmm.
And when you step out into the world, you're literally carrying your past experiences with your parents in relationships on your back,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And you reflect them.
That's
You really much
exactly.
so. That's why, mother-in-laws give people such hard trouble, is
Mm-hmm.
because they are losing that attention. So you got to take into account, where's that mother-in-law? That's
Mm-hmm.
normally my first or second question is, so what's your family like?
Yeah.
Because I want to know, what am I going to deal with? Am I dealing with Bran Holda, who's the mother that comes in with the white gloves every 6 months to aggravate the Hades out of me? Or am I dealing with the really sweet one that says, oh, you're taking my son out, so here's your box of cookies, and, he really likes
Uh,
Cokes, so here's some Cokes to take
yeah.
in the car. Um,
Yeah.
but no, I don't like flashy first dates. What about you? What about when you were dating? Did you like the flashy first date, or did you like the simple, let's hang out?
I tend to prefer let's hang out. When it gets really flashy, I feel quite awkward because there's no foundation
Mm-hmm.
for this experience to be anchored on. So I like just simple hanging out. Well, I cook. That's me. So someone will be invited over to sit down at the bar or wherever, and I make you a sandwich, and we'll sit down and we'll have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, and we'll chat, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to make things. You're being hounded by cats everywhere.
Oh,
I
honey, they know I'm getting ready to leave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I tend to make things incredibly comfortable and easy all around, regardless. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And, I remember this guy tried, oh boy, poor thing. And any guys out there, never do this. He liked me, or maybe he thought that I was the next person to leap towards. I don't know. We met on a ferry. Turns out we both had 2 kids, which was just fine. And he decided, I guess, that I was it. So he, we should get the kids together. We should get the kids together. Okay, well, sure. They have a lot in common. So one day he booked that, oh, let's get the kids together. I'll make dinner. It turns out he couldn't make dinner. He showed up at my house, tried to seduce my kids to get through to me. And my kids are so smart, right? So they looked at me and I looked at them and I didn't say a word. It was very interesting how he attempted to go through my children to get to me, and it didn't work. The kids didn't. They saw him coming a mile away, and it just didn't work. Right?
See, that exactly, because I don't. You know, we have a lot of people are package deals now. Either they've got kids, family, whatever.
Yeah.
But those don't, and other than hi, I'll have your mother home by 10. I'll have your father home by 11. None of that.
That's right.
None of that communication. None of that.
That's right.
Do not introduce. Give it 6 months, because otherwise you've got this revolving door of,
That's right.
you know, Johnny on the spots, and then they've got to reconsider what's going on with that.
That's
Where's
right.
that relation going? You know, oh, you know, John's no longer, you know, I'm no longer dating John, I'm dating Matt. Oh, it's Thursday, I'm going to go see Scott. And that gets their head thinking, okay, it's got to be something wrong.
Yeah. They
And
usually know.
Yeah, and then they will repeat it into the next relationship. So I don't think package deals should be, they shouldn't get to know the full package up until they've proven at least that they can get to know the first thing.
Yeah. It's very interesting, I find, because children lose trust when they are in the midst of a revolving door.
Well, not only that, but they start feeling like it's an audition for them.
That's right.
You know, and people have to understand, and you know, if you're not part of that package deal, and yeah, I've dated men with kids. I raised 4 of them for 4 years and had the best time of my life.
Yeah.
But I didn't meet them for at least 6 months. And that was my choice. I'm like, I'm not walking into that situation, picking on that responsibility of daddy too, when you know, I don't even know anything about you. But you know, when you become that boyfriend or that girlfriend, that doesn't give you rights to those kids.
That's right.
Yeah, you're dating them too. And if they don't like you at the first start, then you got to build that relationship up from the beginning. And it doesn't take Hershey bars. It takes giving them time, communication, and activity.
Absolutely.
3 hour, you know, when you do a family day, it needs to be a family day, and they go home.
That's right.
Not you carrying your suitcase in either.
Yeah. A suitcase, bringing the suitcase in, that's a lot of people do that. I think because of the economic situation, a lot of people are trying to find a place to rest their hats, or you know, and unfortunately, it does mean that a lot of people bring their suitcases when they meet someone and they decide that this person is it, and then they walk into the person's home, and you know, all of a sudden they're there with the suitcase. The kids get up in the morning, and there's someone sitting at the table drinking coffee and eating eggs. Oh my goodness! Oh, I would be abhorred by that if I were a child.
Well, I think it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Very much so. I also think, you know, that if you go long term with someone, that they need to build their own relationships. It isn't your responsibility to make Johnny like John. It isn't your response. And I think that also when we get into step parenting, and when we get into, you know, parents remarrying, that's an event very much that affects the children. Either in a positive or negative way, because now they've got another authority figure that they've got to figure out what to do with.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, and to get attention from, and to please, and to, you know, and especially male children with single moms. Oh, honey, you better date that one a lot. Take them to baseball games, take them to the arcade, because they take on that protector role as soon as if the dad was ever there, leaves. They switch into, I am the man of the house. I must take care of everything. And an old movie that really that illustrated this was Cheaper by the Dozens with Lucille Ball. Do you remember that one?
Yes. Yeah. That's not Lucille Ball? That's Chevy Chase. Who was it?
No, Lucille done it.
That she was Cheaper by the Dozen, because there are a few takes on that particular theme. Yeah.
There's a few takes, but she done one where she meets a guy, and she's a widow and he's a widow, and they each have 6 kids, and you know, just the insanity of trying to date when you have 6 children. My
Yeah.
gods.
Yeah.
I do good today when I just got an old, a mama to take care of. That's hard to figure out. So I can't imagine doing 6 kids. So how was it for you when you dated? Because you went from marriage 1 and dated, and then marriage 2. You had kids with marriage 1, right? That's where
Yeah.
you had your wonderful daughter. How did you handle that?
Um, I had in the second marriage, he had 2 children, and that was interesting. I tend not to get very heavy-handed with kids. I sit back and let them come to me. I do that even with animals, cats, dogs, whatever. You know, some people go into the cat thing. Ah, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that. I wait and I will greet them, greet the animals, so on, and then I wait for them to come to me. And
Mm-hmm.
so with the children, I did the same thing, except that there are things that I didn't quite appreciate, you know, the way they talk to their father, the way they behave, and I'll get involved in that. But otherwise, I kind of keep I don't know, an eggshell kind of a role, you know, very delicate
Right.
role, and let them come to me. So I become like the magnet sitting here as opposed to pushing into their energy field. I try to respect people's energy field,
Mm-hmm.
regardless, whether it be whichever way it works, whether it be in work or in relationships and stuff. I respect their energy field, and I stay pull back and wait for them to come into mine. And it's a very subtle dance. So, you know, my heart bleeds for people who need that emotional support. They need it so desperately that they jump glob into the other person's world. You know, they're just prowling the world looking for one person that they can attach to. And, you know, that one runs, that one runs, that one, gotcha, got this one. Okay, I'm going to see if I can keep you here. And when you're here, you're not going to go out with your friends. You're not going to do this. Why aren't you talking to me? You know, and so there's so many people out there like that. I don't think they ever learned how to love themselves or how to be their own person or their own partner. And I think, you know, to be in a relationship, it's necessary to be your own partner. You know, and maybe it sounds odd, I don't know, but it's necessary to be your own partner, because when that happens, you can actually have an easy, cozy, yummy relationship with someone that you just met, that you get to know. It's very delicious to just play.
Right. And it's very great. And, I think that, with today's world, having the continual communication isn't a good thing. For me, you start, I live a busy life. I work normally 70 hours a week. I'm on the road. I'm traveling. I've got this going on, that going on. You come in and trying to vacuum yourself into my world thinking that you're going to become my son. Honey. My universe is already built and I am the sun. You can become the moon, but you better take your time.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. It
Yeah.
drives me crazy when people come in and they think that, oh, I'm new, I'm shiny, I'm bright, so I should get all your attention. Guys don't work that way. It
That's
actually annoys them when you
yeah.
think that you can do that. And isolating a friender, and this is guys who have friends that they've had for years, and they do the polka party or they'll do the bike ride, and you like him that way, and then you get into his world and you try to start changing that around, he's going to rebel.
That's right.
I think people need to learn that relationships are like purses. They fit the use. They are not the outfit. They are a purse or a bracelet.
An accessory.
They're an accessory.
Yeah.
So you have to allow yourself to see that as an accessory. Unless you plan on clamming into your purse, you don't need to expect him to be wearing him like a cheap suit.
That's right. You know, it's funny about the whole relationship thing is that there are a lot of couples who have been married for 40, 50 years. The husband retires and she thinks, what are you doing here? Please get him out of here, because he follows her everywhere. A lost puppy. What am I going to do now? Okay, Martha, I think I'll fix this. Oh, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a sandwich? And she'd spent so much time in her own world that, you know, all of a sudden, you know, here he is. And I think when you're alone, you have that kind of a separate, you know, like a married couple with separate lives. She has her tea group and he has his work experience. And then you get together and you end up attaching, glubbing so much that you do push that person away. And that's the
Exactly.
sad part of it, you know?
Yeah, and you know exactly, and you know I've had mates who are with me 24/7, you know, involved in the business, and that
Yeah,
it killed the relationship.
yeah.
I need to be ace, and I need to be able to hop in my car, go to the
Mhm,
airport, and take off to Ottawa, or you know, hop in my car and take off to LA with nobody's
mhm,
permission. I'm not going to ask permission, you
mhm.
know, and I'm going to put it this way: over 21, pay the bills. I'm fine with me.
Yeah.
And you know, people, and I've decided, you know, my mate needs to be someone that can do one or two things.
Mhm,
They can go, oh, you're going to Canada? Great. I'll book my ticket and I'll be there, and they pay their own way.
mhm,
Or, okay, hon, see ya, bye. And you
mhm,
know, they get their daily call or their daily
mhm,
text or
mhm,
whatever.
mhm,
But that's because I am not a friender. I am very much a experiencer. I require freedom. I require attention. That's something else. When you're looking at dating a guy or a girl, you got to figure out what they are. You know,
mhm,
are they an explorer? I'm an explorer. I know I am. Are they a friender where they got a huge crowd of friends and you got to make all those friends happy before you make them happy? And you got to
mhm.
get used to them being gone on Saturday night with their friends,
With the golf clubs.
with the golf clubs or the four wheelers
Mhm,
or you know whatever,
mhm,
or are they the homebody type where you know they like to stay home and do things at home, which I think you are. If you like to cook, you would rather sit down and watch a movie together, you
mhm,
know, do the Netflix and chill thing, then
mhm,
you're a homebody. And you
mhm,
want to, you either need an explorer to bring you entertainment or another homebody.
mhm. I like exploring. I like travel. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. I mean, and uh, I'm not a very organized traveler. I'm the I pack my bags. I decide I'm going to Timbuktu. That's all I've planned. I know where I'm going to stay in the hotel. I get there. I get my hotel key, get to the room, put everything down. If it's been a long trip, I'll have a shower, have a nap, and then I'll pick up my hotel key and start wandering, roaming the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of person that I am. So I'm not, you know, there are people who have to plan everything down to, and I'm very patient with that.
Mm-hmm.
But while we're doing that, I'll start wandering off down there. Okay, you have my cell phone number. Call me if you, because I'll be getting myself lost, you know. So,
Well, I like to get lost. You know, when I travel, and I'm looking so forward for you guys that are watching. I will be with Sonia on Thursday. I'm traveling to Canada on Thursday. We're going to the Mind Soul Body Expo on Friday, and we're going to be doing readings there Friday,
Friday,
Saturday,
Saturday,
and Sunday.
and
And then I
Sunday,
get her again on Monday before I fly back out,
yeah.
and
Yes,
we're going to have a ball.
we
And
will.
I'm going to be vlogging most of the time. So look for uploaded videos next week of my trip to Canada
Mhm.
with her. And hopefully we'll get to do an in-person interview. We'll get there,
Yes.
of a more intimate portrait of Sonia and, what she really like. And I think that'll be fun for our watchers to get to know both of us a little better and see us
Mhm.
in our element, because I I'm sorry, I like live performances. I love live readings.
Yes.
Um, I never my I was always an in-person person until technology said, "Oh, by the way, you can do this at home," and I'm like, so
Really?
now I'm getting back out and traveling, and we're going to have fun with that. But you know, dating wise, you got to know who you are. That's
Yeah.
the first thing. And, if you don't know what's on the menu nowadays, you're really out there. You've got to take some time to figure out, okay, what does my man look like? Do I like them tall? Do I like them short? Do I like them older? Do I like them younger? Do I like them happy? Do I like them free? Do I like them to be, there are people out there who just like to date doctors. And you know these
Really?
people. Yeah, honey, there's an app just for dating a doctor. There's an app
Oh,
called Sugar Daddy where you date rich men. Um,
okay.
you know, or Kruger, where you date younger men. It's younger men looking for older women. Um, so there's a lot of stuff out there, and guys, really take some time to explore what your mate is.
Mm,
Because now it's a small, it's a okay. Let's open the menu up. I would like the steak blue with mashed potatoes and carrots. That's about the way dating is anymore.
mm-hmm.
But don't forget the chase, because
Oh,
otherwise you're going to get lost and you're going to confuse each other.
yes, right. Yeah.
And nowadays the hunter doesn't have to be the man; it can be
Mm-hmm.
the woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I've met some women and they hunt better than I do.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
fun part. So, Miss Sonia, other than the expo, what are we doing this week?
Um, well, I might see if I'll have to see how it works. I might see if we can get some readings on the Monday when we get back, unless we do it in Ottawa. So once we're at the show, we might decide to do one or two in between. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We're just going to play it by ear. I
Right.
have a money workshop on the 20th, which is the Thursday after you leave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting. We'll see. I haven't
Where's
had
that
any.
at?
It'll be at the Thousand Island Mall has a community room here,
Uh-huh.
and it'll be there in
So
that
it'll
room.
be in Ottawa, Canada, at the
It'll be in
community
Brockville.
mall in
It'll
Brockville.
be Brockville.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
At Thousand Island Mall. And
Thank
they
you.
need to contact you or they contact the mall.
They contact me they go to my website and check it out. And that'll be thanks to Aeson. My website should have a new face, new look, fresh energy, which will make me very happy because I don't go on it much anymore because I don't like how it looks. So everybody's telling me it's beautiful, but it doesn't feel like me. So we're hopefully he's gonna
Yep.
show me a few pointers because I'm still independent, don't you know? But I
Uh-huh. And
know
I love that you are, honey, because I have enough to take care of, but I will show you a few pointers and get you worked out. Um,
brilliant. Yeah.
I do have a few little announcements. After the Canada trip, I'm going to come back and then I'll be in Morgantown, West Virginia the next weekend. Yeah,
Yeah.
the 23rd, I'm going to be there at the Steampunk convention at the Barnes and Noble.
Mhm.
Also, you guys that are listening, you guys can also start listening to us very soon here on the Magic Happens Radio Network. We're
Oh,
going to be cross broadcasted for that. You can actually listen to all our shows there. What else am I doing?
awesome.
My tarot video class will be coming up next month. I took a month off from it, giving everybody time to get a breath. And, we're going to be doing calls with the Psychic Coffee Shop. We have a guest this week. I'm not sure which one it is, but it'll be an author, and we'll be taking your calls then. And I'm sure Miss Rainey will be returning with us soon. She's still going through Wonder Woman surgery.
Oh man.
Um,
Oh,
and we've got Angel Divine actually lost her voice, so you guys didn't get to hear her this Sunday, and that's probably where she's been at, is trying to heal up. And then let's see. Oh, we got new Straight Talk on Sundays on the Psychic Coffee Shop with Intuitive Alex,
mhm,
and he'll be doing some life coaching things. So that'll be a little bit of a different flavor. There
mhm.
will be no conversations with Aeson because I will be in Brockville, Canada, and I'm not going to be broadcasting from up there, guys, because I like my studio. But it's going to be a busy week. It's going to be fun,
Yeah.
and it'll be really creative and really good. So I'm going to give you guys kind of like my top 3 dating tips. 1, don't ever go on a date with someone you've not talked to for at least a week. 2, write down the information they give you, the name, where you're meeting them, and stick it on your computer.
Mhm,
Sorry, there's too many Craigslist daters out there anymore, especially if you meet them online.
mhm.
If they don't have a connection within your circle, stick that information somewhere. And then 3, you don't call them for 3 days either way, because you guys need to process that new energy and see if you like it or not.
Mhm.
you, Sonia, what's 3 dating tips that you would like to give people?
Well, the first thing is, if you're in high need about needing a relationship, don't go on a date. Back up from it, because the high need creates like a glaze over your vision and you can't see that person clearly. Because
Mm-hmm.
you glob onto the person and 2 weeks later you look at that, is that really you? You know, he's shorter and his hair is not as curly and the eyes don't look right, and you wonder what is going on. Did you change? So make sure you're not in high need. And by that I mean you're not desperate for love or desperate for a relationship. If you feel that desperation, don't go there. And 2, make sure you take your own money or credit card on the date. I know it's nice to be taken out and to be treated, but make sure you have your own credit card to pay your way in case, and you have money for the cab to get yourself home just in case. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. I don't use that, but I'm just saying. You know, just look after yourself. Be independent in that date, and don't be afraid to flirt. Flirting is fun. It's delicious. It's yummy. It creates sparkles in your energy field. And when that flirting happens, eye contact, takes you a far way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
yeah,
you should flirt. I'm sorry, the art of flirting should be used all the time.
that's
I think
right.
we've sanitized the world since, all the sexual harassment.
Oh, yeah.
Men don't know when to tell a lady she has a nice power suit on, and a woman doesn't know when to tell a man that his tie looks cute. I think we need to get back to that, because that's just one of those societal things that was part of
Yeah.
everyday life. It's like people calling honey, sweetie, love, darlings. Oh, people will just about eat you alive, except you come down here and you're going to be honey, sweetie, darling,
Always love.
always. That's just how I am, and I don't give a care.
Yeah.
I've had people let me go, don't call me honey. I said, all right, sweetie, keep it up.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I did this twice, in one in Canadian Tire and one in Home Depot. I went in, I was looking for something in Home Depot. This kid came up. Hello, can I looked at it. Wow, you're the cutest thing ever. And he looked at me. I said, yes, you are just the cutest thing. Could you show me where to find nails? That sort of thing. And I did it. So I don't have a problem complimenting people just because. And if you get into the habit of just complimenting people just because, when it comes time for you to meet someone, the compliment will go, but it won't have this sexual connotation to it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It'll just be a pleasantry that says, you know what, I think you're very cute, or you got really nice eyes, or, because you're complimenting something specific about the individual that draws you in.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think
And we
that
need those. I think we all need compliments. By the way, this
is
is now Miss Catherine coming to show off for Miss Sonia.
yeah. There's a tail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's my little baby now. Now go away, go on.
yeah.
But she, pleasantries need to be brought back. I think so. There is no sexual connotation in going, honey, that dress looks wonderful on you. I'm
That's
so
right.
glad that you've done great in the meeting today.
Yes.
That type of thing.
If you do it often enough and people hear you, and you do it across the board, not just one
Mm-hmm.
specific individual, but you put that where it merits that compliment,
Mm-hmm.
people
Right.
will start to recognize that, you are the type of individual who bolsters people, and that's it. So then
Exactly.
when it's time for the true relationship thing, you'll have that connection, you'll have the conversation, and there'll be a different tone to your voice when
Mm-hmm.
you are trying to get that connection going. So I think
Exactly.
it's lovely.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And I also want to say, don't pay attention to bedroom eyes. Those will get
I
you in
know, I
trouble
call them
every
bandy eyes.
time.
Don't bat those bandy eyes at me. It's not going to get you very far.
Yeah, people fall for this. Oh, he's got such nice eyes. Not really. He just knows how to drop them a little lower, open the pupils a little more, and get a lot more attention. Well, Miss
Yeah.
Sonia, I think we kind of wrapped up for the night. So
Yes.
let's say our good nights, and I'll see you guys in Ottawa.
I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm looking forward to giving you a great big hug, sweetie.
Oh, I can't wait for it, honey.
Yes.
Especially since you're so tiny, you might get picked up.
That's okay. I can handle it.
So
Take
good
care,
night, y'all.
everyone. Good night.